Howdy Earthlings, it's Friday night, I don't have to work in the morning, so it's time for a star party. Unfortunately can't party too late tonight because I still have to be up at stupid o'clock in the morning. I am going to be heading south to pick up my buddy, and then we are going to head north up to Belton, and we are going to the Belton Expo Center for Ham Expo, which is kind of like a big ham radio swap meet. And we're just looking to see what kind of stuff we can find, what kind of deals we can find, and we're going to look for stuff to help me kind of cobble together a radio telescope. I've been looking at do-it-yourself projects on how to make one, and I have a Dish Network satellite that I'll be using, or a satellite dish that I'll be using. I recently got my mom off of Dish Network and onto streaming services, so we have that dish. Dish Network didn't want it back, so I'm going to repurpose it. So tomorrow morning will be an adventure, although a very tired adventure for me. This week's been pretty cool, and basically we had some really cool news. I did post a couple of news articles in the community section on the YouTube channel. One of them was T. Corone. One of the stars is going supernova. I did try to locate it with my telescope, but the right ascension and the declination that I found in the news article did not point to anything, so I was unable to catch it. I don't know if it has blown or not yet, so that's definitely something to research this weekend. The other thing is our new mini moon, which you might have heard of. It's been mentioned in the news. It's been mentioned on Late Night. I know Stephen Colbert. I'm a big fan of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and he even did a little section on it. It's basically an asteroid that is going to be in our orbit for about a month and a half, starting September 29th, and leaving our orbit sometime in November. And it's about the size of a bus, basically. It's about 33 feet long or 10 meters long, and it's not the big deal that they make it out to be. And I did queue up a video for y'all to watch Neil deGrasse Tyson explain what's up with the mini moon, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that.
Earth has a new moon? What's up with that?
Well, Earth now has another moon.
That is today's story. The Earth is getting
why I'm highly
a new
intrigued.
moon.
For 4.5 billion years, Earth got by on the one moon that we know. But from September 29th to November 25th, we're going to have a second moon.
Here's Earth. Actually, it's what Earth looks like to a politician, where the landmass is divided up into color-coded countries. And we have a moon, only one moon, called the Moon. Here it is. This is about the right size relative to Earth of our moon. If you look at these in textbooks, Earth and the moon are typically drawn maybe this far apart from each other, maybe a little farther, but they're just lying to you. The moon would be 30 feet away. There's been clickbait headlines saying Earth temporarily acquired a new moon. Official name of it is 2024 PT5. That's how we name newly discovered asteroids. There's hundreds of thousands of asteroids, and tons of them, literally, tons of them are discovered every year. And so we have a naming scheme for them. It's kind of cute, a little overthought perhaps. But if you take the letters A through Z and omit I and omit Z, then an asteroid will be designated by a letter of the alphabet depending on which semi-month it was discovered in. So if you discover an asteroid in the first half of January, it would have the year and then the letter A to start with. If it's in the second half of January, it would be the letter B. This was cool when we discovered, 10 or 20 asteroids in a year. But when we started discovering more than 24, we had to put nuance into the nomenclature. So in any semi-month, the first asteroid discovered would get the letter A. The second one would be B, affixed to the letter it already has, indicating it's semi-month. If it's the first asteroid discovered in the first half of March, it would be EA. Second would be EB, EC, ED, all the way down, omitting I, but keeping Z in this case. So there are 25 possible asteroids you can discover in a semi-month. Now, suppose we discover even more than that. Well, we restart the second letter with A, but then we start using numerals. A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, A2, B2, C2. We continue this. This asteroid, claimed to be our new moon, is P, discovered the first half of August. And so many other asteroids were discovered in the first half of August. We went through all the alphabet as a second letter, and then we went through the alphabet again. We're up to T5 as the second letter. Okay, that's how we keep track of these things. Not that you care. Anyhow, who says this is a moon? It's clickbait. Yes. Oh my gosh, so many asteroids, they're flying everywhere, and some of them cross Earth's orbit. And if you cross Earth's orbit near where Earth happens to be, it's going to feel Earth's gravity. You know what it's going to do? It's going to come near Earth and then have its orbit altered, and it could make a sort of a horseshoe around Earth, completely redirecting its path. People want to say we have a new moon. It is not captured by Earth. No. So I'm not calling it a moon. Sorry. I'm not about clickbait here. I'm about objective reality. So you can say, well, how big is the asteroid that's now a moon of Earth, as the headlines tell you? Well, we've measured it. It's 33 feet across. I'm not calling that a moon. Oh, and for those across the pond, or rather for those everywhere else in the universe other than the United States of America, it's 10 meters. 10 meters across. I can't call that a moon. I'm sorry. Plus, it's not captured. It just got its orbit heavily altered by Earth's gravity. And this happens frequently. Was it 2 years ago? We were still just coming out of COVID. Something very similar to this happened. There was a, 10-meter sized object that did a loop around the Earth. And maybe there was more news to pay attention to as we were emerging from COVID than there is now, because hardly anyone talked about it. It's possible for a moment to be interesting, but not newsworthy. I'll give you an example. If you found out that this happened multiple times a year, every couple of years, would you write home about it? Oh my gosh, I'm alive at a time when an asteroid became a moon of the... Is it just me? Sorry. So if you care, I don't want to stop you from caring. I know what I'll do. Let me give you information to make it care-worthy. Okay, how about that? There's a chance that this rock, 33 feet across, 10 meters, which, by the way, you can't see with an unaided eye. You can't even see with a backyard telescope. You need professional devices for this. It may be left over from the formation of the moon billions of years ago. That's kind of interesting, if that's true, because you'd expect that debris to still be in our vicinity. And what it would mean is this visit that it has offered would not have been the first time it has done such a thing. But I can't call it a moon. And would you call something 33 feet across, a rock in space, a moon? I don't think so. I wouldn't. This brings to question, what is the definition of a moon? To me, a moon is something that hangs out with you in orbit, like our moon. Our moon has been with us ever since it took form, around 4 billion years ago, plus or minus. We're still determining that. This object is going to be in our, I'm going to say airspace, but it's going to be in space. It's going to be in our space for just a couple of months before it goes on its way. So, no. If you have an object that is affected by Earth's gravity but continues on its way, it was never gravitationally bound to Earth. If you're not gravitationally bound to an object, I cannot call you a moon. That's what's up with that regarding a new moon around Earth.
As you may know, we recently posted a video.
Okay, so that is Neil deGrasse Tyson's take on 2024-PT5, our new moon. And basically, it is a lot of hype, a lot of clickbait, but it's still pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it does happen. I really liked going back to the whole 2022 NX1, and it makes me wish we would have named it NX01, which was the name of the Enterprise in Star Trek Enterprise, captained by Captain Jonathan Archer, played by Scott Bakula. I know a lot of people give it a lot of shade, but it was still decent. I liked it, okay? But then again, I'm a huge Scott Bakula fan. I watched Quantum Leap growing up. I liked the reboot, even though they canceled it, which really bummed me out because I felt like it still had a lot of good story left. But I'm getting off on a tangent. Our new moon is not so much a moon as just a visitor. And yeah, I know I posted a clickbaity article that said, hey, we've got a new moon. It's still interesting. It's still cool to learn about stuff from deep space coming close to Earth and getting caught in our orbit. So the article is there on the YouTube page, on the posts section, if you want to go ahead and check that out, or just Google it, because it's pretty neat. Because of its size, I don't think I'd be able to catch it with the telescope. I have not found a right ascension or declination for it yet. If you guys find it online, feel free to throw it up in the comments. But I just, I didn't dig too deep, to be honest, because I spent this week mostly playing around with imaging and manually stacking. I still am not good with uploading the photos and manually moving them over to the computer and playing with the stacking software. I'm going to pull over my iPhone capture. Unfortunately, it's being persnickety tonight. Nope. This is the stacking software I was using. This is the ASI Deep Stack, which is with the software suite from ZWO. And it threw a whole lot of errors. I am trying to get my AirDroid back up. I'm probably going to have to switch windows real quick. Yoink. There's my screen. Let's see if it will give it back to me. I want it back. I might have to restart the iPad. I'm going to have to restart it. Close. Confirm end session. Restart. Don't you just love technology? Doot doot. Give me what I want. Come on. Next. Got it. There we are, and let's bring it back up. Come on. It's going to be a day. It really is. 1 second. Nope, that's ASI. Unfortunately, it is not bringing it up. Let me try something else. Capture. Add source. Add source. There's always more than one way to do stuff. Survey says it's still not pulling up. Of course, it's going to be a day. Well then, I'm going to move on to another window I've got pulled up here. And this is Exoplanet Watch. This is what the other thing that I've been playing with lately. And this is, I've talked about it before, and this is searching for exoplanets by observing variable stars. And basically, because I found some really cool stuff that I want to do with my telescope that I can't show you because my window is being weird, I have learned how to program in the right ascension and declination for objects into the SeeStar. So now I've already gone through and I've downloaded a list of objects, transit objects. These are from the Exoplanet Watch website under What to Observe. And this walks you through what they're doing. We have a couple of targets here for the Northern Hemisphere, but we also have a calendar for North America of things that we can look up. So I got these targets all programmed into my SeeStar. I was going to show everyone how we could do that, but with it being wonky, I can't. But I am going to go ahead and show you the video that I pulled up on observing variable stars with the AAVSO. So give me one moment and I'll cue that up for y'all.
The study of variable stars has been instrumental in allowing astronomers to understand the physics of stars, what really happens. Some of these variable stars have allowed us to literally size the universe.
The AAVSO is an international organization that connects professional and amateur astronomers for scientific research. We have been acquiring ground-based data for more than 100 years now.
The AAVSO does a lot of work with professional astronomers. They're the people who really are doing the research and really need the information that we are gathering.
A lot of amateurs throughout the world just use their telescopes to look at galaxies and fun things in the sky, which is something we all do, even professionals. But the amateurs in the AAVSO are interested in providing quantitative results, which is what we need for research. When I need to have ground-based data, I send a notice to the AAVSO, and the response is wonderful. I get so many people that are doing the observations, and they put it on the web so it's available immediately.
We have a very active help desk at headquarters where we are taking all the data that comes through to make sure that there are no glitches in equipment, that the quality of the data is the one that is necessary for professional astronomers to pick up and do their own projects without questioning.
There's an increased demand for amateur observations. One can wonder, well, what can a 8-inch or 10-inch telescope on the ground do to help research? Remarkably, most of the stars the amateur observe are nowadays too bright for the scientific space telescopes.
One of the really, really neat things about this is that weekly, when you're providing measurements, you'll actually get an email from the AAVSO saying, hey, these are the observations that have been used. I am a business development specialist by day, and by night, I'm an amateur astronomer. It's actually a really cool community. If you see something odd or something weird that you want a follow-up observation on, I can call these people at 1 a.m. and be like, hey, there's something really cool going on in the sky. Like, how many other people can you do that with?
Amateurs actually contribute a great deal to the science of astronomy, more than any other scientific field that's out there. And you don't have to have a PhD level of knowledge, or really even a bachelor's degree level of knowledge in astronomy, to get involved in submitting scientific data that gets used by scientists around the world.
If you are someone who is passionate about the night sky and wants to do more, we welcome you to join us, become a member, and contribute in the quest of knowledge. If you would like to leave your legacy with the AVSO and support citizen science, please visit our website to make a donation. Your contribution will empower our members to continue doing this work for the next 100 years. Thank you, and clear skies.
All right, so that is
We are
basically
surrounded by stars.
That's the AAVSO. They do work with NASA's Exoplanet Watch, like you saw in the video. We use their tools to be able to create star charts to match our observations, and we run that data through the exotic program, which I'm going to go ahead and bring that up over here. So this is the program that we actually use to process the data that we collect by observing these exoplanets transiting in front of stars. And the data is actually being used. So if you're really interested in finding goals, or if you're a goal-oriented person like me, I like going outside and just staring at the night sky, but sometimes I feel like if I'm not actively doing something, then what's the point? Yes, I've got astrophotography, but that's more artistic. This is more scientific, and it really digs into my scientific brain to allow me to actually do some science, even though my degree isn't in science. My degree is in IT. So it's really cool to be able to just jump in and do something like this. And while we are on this page, I'm going to attempt to reconnect. Yeah, the AirDroid is not connecting again. I do apologize for the failure tonight. It is going to be one of those days. It really is. I am so sorry, peeps. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back over to the full page. And if you do have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I also put the links in the description tonight so that you can look up the AAVSO and Exoplanet Watch, and you can get more information if you want to give it a shot. But it is a very cool program. Like I said, back over here under what to observe, not only do they list the calendar for your location, but here's your transit finder. So like I said earlier, they give you a couple of target lists here, and I downloaded the NASA Exoplanet Archive database. Yes, that is a crap ton of planets, 4,315, according to my contacts in the Exoplanet Watch Slack chat room, which there is a link. I'm going to go back over here and show you the link under what is Exoplanet Watch. you can join the Slack channel. It's free to join. Go hang out with other people who enjoy doing this. Find out if it's something that you're interested in and want to give it a shot. So I actually, there's a contact I made in the Exoplanet Watch chat room who works for NASA. I'm not going to name him by name because I don't want to mess him up with his work, but I do want to give him a shout out. He knows who he is, and he's given me a lot of really great information on, you know, what NASA does with the data, what NASA does with the exoplanet program. He's given me information about how this works, about other NASA information that I can use in my live streams and videos. He's just been a wealth of knowledge, so you know who you are. Thank you for helping me out. So he's the one who actually told me that Exoplanet Watch prefers using the data in the NASA Exoplanet Archive database because it is more up to date. And you can put that information in here to determine when the planet is going to transit in front of a specific star. So that will help you go ahead and find a target if you don't want to do one of the ones that are in the calendar. If you don't want to do one of the monthly targets, which this month I believe is HAT P1 and WASP 33. I was correct, yes. So again, if this is interesting to you, if you want to actually try some citizen science, and it sounds like a superhero almost, and it feels like it too, really, when you get that first email. So go ahead, the links are in the description, give it a shot. So unfortunately, since we are not functioning tonight, I'm going to give it one more shot. One more shot. Come on, you can do it. Tell me we got it. Tell me we got it. Hello? Yes? No? Yes? Maybe. Survey says it's not pulling up. I do apologize for that tonight. I am going to go ahead, and since we don't have the air droid working tonight to mirror over to the computer, I am going to go ahead and call it quits for tonight, since I do need to get up at stupid o'clock in the morning. Thank y'all for tuning in, and you have a good weekend.